Hello, welcome to Team Fortress TV with Admirable Hildreth, and Ducky. We're here for the ETF2L Season 17, powered by TT Esports Premiership Relegation Playoff. It's Lego, your seventh place Prem team, wow, versus 425, your second place Division 1 team. The winner of this best of three will be guaranteed a place in the Prem in the future Season 18. Hildreth, does that interest you?
Season 18. Oh yes, it
TF2
certainly does.
sixes at all. I know you're a big man in Highlander these days.
Yeah, my attempts to convert the scene have failed, so I'm going to have to make a triumphant return next season. Just for you, Admirable.
What you should do, mate, is like take all these Highlander players you've befriended and bring them to sixes or something. You know, like just go the other way. Double agent.
Somebody's trying to make themselves look smarter on stream than they actually are. Because, you know, we didn't just talk about this pre-game, about my trying to reform a new team with some Highlander players.
Oh, what's that? Oh, that sounds like a great idea, Hildreth.
I couldn't sound more fake if we were on American TV right now.
Okay, well, let's get down to business then. We'll not talk about that because this game has been a little bit delayed. We've been waiting for the server info. We know F2 loves to keep me in suspense, but we are actually getting ready to go live, and so are the teams. I've given them the permission to begin, and this is the first map, Hildreth, that they have just gone live. This is Granary, and I understand this is the 425 pick, which is interesting because it's a map that Lego love. They love to play their defensive style on here, so this is going to be pretty tough one to call, really. But Hildreth, take me through this first middle whilst I silence my phone.
I will do that for you. I've been watching Death on the rollout. He's gone up top, spams the right corner, and 425 a little bit defensive to come out on the point, but their Roma, who is some sort of Russian Righton, has got the first kill on the demo man Dr. Phil, and the rest of the team falls just like that. It's like a stack of dominoes all lined up,
Oh,
and now
look
it's just
at
F2.
Helberg. He's running for that door, but he can make it in. Gets focused down there by Kenzie. Is Romer the guy with the funny letters who doesn't even draw correctly in my head? That is Come Down. Apparently Dicker asked him to change his name in the name of professional, but he refused. Right now you see 425 rolling into last with a big Uber advantage. Uber gets popped off from Dicker as his players close the distance onto that shutter door on the right hand side. They managed to frag the heavy. That was Zen off classing his heavy, and now they're looking for more frags, but Sid and Death go down, and it looks like Lego are really doing their best to hold on here. But Dr. Phil is isolated from the medic. F2 can't land an arrow through the gap, and the power of the black box proved too much as Come Down drops down and gets the first round on the board, and we've only played, what, a minute and a half?
Yeah, quick round for 425. It was before I could even mention Russians love Granary. Like, for some reason they love it. Have you not noticed this in your time playing TF2? I mean, whenever it's like a double mix or a mix against Russians, it's always
Forsaken likes it.
Yeah, we'll see how they go in this second middle. I'm going to watch the Roma Come Down. That's his real name. As he goes into the middle, see if he can do anything. He's just hitting on the left here with his scouts controlling the crates, jumps up. He's not really done much so far, but they've taken two people out, including the demo again. Now he bombs in to support his scouts on the point. He goes down to Natural. It's like a DM fest on the point. Natural cleans up 3 people. But again, it's just F2 running away as Def and his medic, Dicker, own the point. Do you see anything you liked?
I was watching sort of from afar Dr. Phil coming in, and they really tried to focus that right side, but like from the garage, but at the same time 425 rolled out there and just held position, and they were waiting for soldiers to bomb in. Natural tried to bomb in, but just took a lot of scatter shots and sort of faded into the background, but nobody really followed up on Phil's damage because the Russians seemed to have the high ground dominated. But at the same time, nobody was able to take advantage of the fact that they were focusing up top by running in on the bottom. Like, nobody supported Phil. I felt that he just got focused down, but this time at least F2 managed to survive, so it's going to be an Uber versus Uber battle here on to CP4.
The heavy. Look at Shy U. I don't know actually who that is. They've actually Ubered the heavy on this lunchbox area. Counter Uber on the soldier, and the demo man is going to chase them back. This heavy's going to soak up all their damage. Getting chased by Natural the Pocket. He's taking the time to kill him. Finally kills with the help of Crizzle. So there's a bit of pressure on the point. There's not much else going on. There's a bit of a fight in the ramp room. I don't see too much other pressure going on. It's very defensive at the moment. Just the one frag.
Yeah, Xiaoyu is the pocket soldier in that, who back at the start of the season he'd left the roster but then came back to it. And 425 used to have Yangpai and MSH as their scouts in the preseason, but they bailed and joined the new team, which is now GG Well Played. Forsaken's team, Sid and Kenzie came in at sort of right at the start of the season to shore things up, but they've managed to do a good enough job to finish second in the division. And here they are trying to contest their position in the Premiership. They had a little bit of an Uber advantage there, but they chose not to push into it because they knew F2 was close. It's a tough push, this. Russian style, what might you expect to see here? Maybe a couple of soldiers bombing in for the force and everybody else hanging back. I don't know, but maybe 425 just want to hold middle and sit in their 1-0 advantage.
I've noticed Russians have been playing with their brain lately, which is really scary. It's like the evolution of man or the evolution of beast. So they're gonna stalemate it out. I'm assuming maybe try and look for Roma bomb, something like that. Very classic strategy. Although I'd like to see them try and push left yard. That's the strat I always favoured when the stalemate's here. But whilst we've got this nice stalemate, Admirable, I'd like to see 425 get their Prem spot because they're doing the Hildreth route to Prem, come second place and win playoffs after 5 attempts. It's the best way to do it.
Promoted into the Premiership.
Just the one time, but we survived a relegation playoff.
Oh yeah, that's what you were on the other end of it. You've experienced both sides. You know the emotions of both these teams, man.
Massive emotions going right now, I bet.
What's it like being at that stage of the season? You know, you've played your full 7 weeks and then there's a bit of a break and then eventually you get asked to play another game. Are you in peak physical condition then? Gaming condition? Or are you just sort of like, yeah, fuck this, let's get it over with?
I'm always in peak gaming condition. There's actually Lego lost their patience with these passive Russians and Ubered in. They got 2 picks from it, both soldiers down. And they're going to back out. They've recycled the Ubers. Now they're going to go back in, heal up. They've already got a big bomb coming in. Krizzle being supported by his team. Dr. Phil puts the Russians in the corner. 425 being pressured out, although they've cleaned 2 people up.
Oh, Sid, the flank, he's going huge here. He picked up the frag onto Zen now. He's going for the health kit. Starting the back cap. He's got a one-on-one with Hellberg to win here. But the back cap is a very real possibility. Hellberg's going to come in. Gets 2 shot. Sit down, Sid is the man with the plan here. He's going to go straight to last, but Zen is going to spawn in time. Is he going to be able to make it? Oh no! Sid Vish is too strong. Wow.
Back from the dead to bring terror. I didn't actually spot that. I guess this is why you're the caster of the season for a record amount of times. I'm just a lonely Highlander caster.
I've just got a ridiculous casting setup. I've got this outlines plugin, the wall hack that I can see. You can see events 20 seconds in the future as well if I actually pay attention to the other logs. But you tell me what's happening on middle anyway, buddy.
I'll do it old-fashioned style. And I'll watch the middle top rollout again by both Domerman actually. This time Dr. Phil's really passive, takes out Sid, so he gets his first frag onto middle. There's an attempted bomb into the ramp room by one of the soldiers. The Roma, I believe that's come down, he's denied, and they've not done any damage and they've lost the player. Well, they actually did a little bit of damage, but no one's really followed up on it. Well, there's some fighting. Where is the combo? Are they chasing?
Pushing ahead already, yeah.
They knew the Russians left the point, so they're pushing straight ahead.
And they've managed to get a cheap pick on the flank there. Kenzie goes down as Sid just respawns. And the Ubers are going to be traded here on the point, directly on that circular metallic plate. But the real action is happening on the flank. Dr. Phil is down to 2 health on Z. He's about to get a long range meat shot at there by Sid. Phil goes down, and with no demo man, you have to favour the Russians in this situation. And it seems like Natural and F2 are not confident. They're going to back out. But those guys are absolute pussies anyway. I've been saying it all season. And right now, with 2 players down, they're going to continue to exit. Not just from CP2, but from middle as well. They're going to go back and cower in their own CP2. Yeah,
I don't particularly like that. They gave that point ups without even contesting it, just off of a demo man pick. They've gone from pushing 2 to defending a yard, so don't like it. Zen did try and make something happen, but he was completely by himself, so it was just easy frag. So yeah, back to stalemate. Natural takes a bit of damage, he's 60 HP. But not going to push off of that damage, these guys. I mean, they're 2-0 up, 21 minutes. They can take their time, they don't have to gamble really. I could see they're looking maybe to get a bomb going in on the right. 2 soldiers
Yeah, it looks like it. They've got their medic there. They're getting buffs now. They're going to rotate. They're sort of trying to find the frags here. They're showing with one hand a bit of misdirection. You know, they're trying to switch it up and see if they can catch somebody off guard. But Sid and who is that? Oh, that's Come down there on the right hand side, just spamming a little bit from the right hand side. But it's a very passive defense here from F2 and from Dr. Phil and Natural. They're not controlling the doors up close. They're not trying to get the damage. They're just going to sit back and wait for the Russians to come in, I guess. Phil's watching a sticky trap there, but he doesn't even have vision on it right now, so he can now. He moves forward a bit, but
it's a bit
very
of
hands
old
off.
style TF2 versus possibly new style. I don't know, you mentioned this about F2 before the game, but they're going to the doors and they're spamming now, probably because they got bored. But old style TF2 teams, they used to give a bit more space up and hold further back, so the other team had a harder time forcing their Uber, and these days it seems like teams want to be a bit more closer, controlling the choke points.
There's definitely something to that, because it means as well if you do get forced that if something bad does happen, you can still you know, something happened with your forced Uber. But it's like they're sitting back and hoping that 425 make a mistake. Oh, there's Sid going down actually. Death also picks up Hellberg at the same time, so both teams find themselves without a scout. Kenzie's going to follow Sid into the spawn because there's a real scout disadvantage here for 425, but they still can control those chokes with the spam damage, the soldiers in the demo. Zen's managed to come in uncontested from the big door and he just forces the combo. He doesn't get a frag for his efforts, but they've just bullied them out here and they're going to be able to cap the point. 425 could push, but I'm not really expecting it. I think they're just happy that they didn't lose their medic there. They're going to back out, and it's essentially roles reverse here as the stalemate continues, but on a different side of the map.
Yeah, Kenzie's gone for the classic forward spawn sniper, but whether or not that comes into play, I don't know, because these days, I say these days, like I'm an old-fashioned man, but not very many people seem to fall for that anymore. Teams tend to go left yard a lot when they know there's a sniper. I can't see it get any kills, but he can always switch back to scout if he hasn't left to spawn.
And the F2 is, it seems like they're formulating a plan here in the right hand side of middle. He's got all his heavies with him, he's buffing Natural, they're walking forward. Nice to clear a little bit of space. Natural, I think, took a little bit of a shot. Oh, Dr. Phil steps into the sightline of Kenzie and gets immediately domed. So with no demo man down, it looks like F2 and Natural will look for the exit, but on their way out, they're going to kill Come Down. Natural is taking shots here for F2, who's down to 80 health, and he's going to go forward, but F2 isn't in a great position to heal him there because he's feeling a bit weak himself, but they have managed to do some damage at least and slow things down, but that engagement, that exchange was not good for them there, Hildreth.
No, that's necessarily, well, I can't even speak, not necessarily, no. Hellberg gets caught by Kenzie exiting the point as well. I would have loved to see just a bit more. I'd say I'd like to see Lego stay in, but I'd also like to see 425 be more aggressive in that fight. Even if they did lose their demo, they were stuck in, but 425 are really slow and they're going to give yard up because they're so scared of that sniper and they've lost their pocket Natural to a body shot. So
yes, he got caught out a little bit there. I think it was 2 shots that finished him off, but interesting that Kenzie is sniper because we were just commenting on how that Lego wanted to play really defensive and give him the space, but like the sniper is the antidote to that. You give us space, we'll just take shots at you. Look at Zen, actually, he's in the drop down now, he's coming behind. He's looking to force Dicker here, pops off a couple of shots. Dicker Uber's pretty much immediately, he was down to 50 health and they're going to be able to lead forward here, but already they've lost 2 players. Come Down and Sid go down on the flank, so they can't even get any cat time on as F2 Dr. Phil come in for the cleanup. They're going to sacrifice Anak, aka Shayu, for that force, but Dicker, Death and Kenzie seem quite happy to hold in the yard here. You know, if this was Lego, they'd be running back to middle.
yeah, they do have the sniper, so it only makes sense. You know, they got a long way to travel to go. Wow, what happened over there with Dr.
Phil got beat out. He jumped in to shut down the sniper, and Death was actually just hiding or backed off the middle for a second, but as soon as Phil was called jumping in, I think he took damage from the sniper and then Death cleaned him up, but maybe a little bit over eager there from Phil. F2's just going down as well. Kenzie is actually delivering on Sniper on Granary, which is something that, you know, traditional TF2 logic says you shouldn't play Sniper on all points in Granary, but he's making it work right now. Crystal's about to drop down from the window though, but it looks like Dicker is going to Uber anyway as they push into last. Crystal gets cleaned up in an instant. Only 2 players remain alive, and it doesn't look good. A 3rd round on the board here for 425, and I don't think Lego have the heart here.
No, just too passive, I think. I mean, you mentioned Sniper shouldn't work, but when you play, it gives a team so much respect, and you don't even contest points, and you give up points off of 1 kill. I don't know, it's really be positive when nothing seems to be going your way, and 1 kill changes everything. And then Dr. Phil's gone for that health pack rollout, traditional health pack rollout, and Lego trying to take their side. Come down's the first man to fall, trying to get a bit aggressive, and now here comes Lego's turn to be aggressive. Natural bombs in, he gets taken out. Dr. Phil's all over that point, putting stickies on everybody, but nobody's helping him against the scout of Sid. I think this is going to be a clean up here. Just about the 2 scouts survived for Lego. And they take
Zen's chasing down Dicker here. He's not even popping a shot until he's within meat shot range. He wants to see the whites of his eyes, and he does finish him off. Zen on 60. Hellberg already capped the point. He's stealing the cat points, but Zen's getting those medic frag points. And now both scouts attempt to edge the way onto the point. They're trying to bait Come Down into committing, but he's backed off. He's got that black box. He's getting 15 per hit. And he does survive, but they will cap the point. And that was a nice push from the scouts there, cleaning up and then capping both middle and 4.
Yeah, Dr. Phil really made that middle happen for their team. With his going across the point, he did a load of damage. And on the middle of the point, could have done with a bit of help earlier from his scouts, but you know, better late than never. So that's what they say. I'd just like to see Hellberg go Sniper or something. They're going to bump Crizzle in. Oh, crits! I didn't see that.
Crizzle times crits. Dr. Phil comes in up top. F2 working the crits creek, and I missed it. And they have popped off here and got frags for the trouble. They would have had an over advantage anyway, probably with F2 spawning sooner, but with the crits, that was just magnified. And wow, I said Lego didn't have heart at the end of that 3rd round. It looked a bit depressing, but they've come back with a strong middle. They clearly have been paying attention to what was going wrong, but now how quickly will it take for 425 to figure out the key to unlocking Lego yet again?
Have to find out. I'm surprised I haven't seen a heavier middle just because they're Russians. What can I say? But
Hello?
I don't really know. I'm gonna watch just the soldiers for Lego, see what they can do. Natural's doing like a really defensive rollout, and he's just trying to take their battlements. It's really weird what's going on. But now Natural's bombing in deep, going in for that medic. Hits 1 rocket, 2 rockets, loads of damage by Natural. They're really weak in the corner, and they're going to get cleaned up. Scouting on the medic, defended by Hellberg, so just Def surviving. Desperate bomb, looking for F2, but he's going to go down. So, strong middle, strong response.
Yeah, a bit, well, just looking at the way that battle ended up, a lot more players playing around F2, protecting him. Imagine if Kenzie had been there for Anak, helping him in that fight against Natural, he would have been cleaned up, his medic would have survived. But these guys were sort of all over the place on middle. Right now F2 has a big Uber advantage. Oh, Come Down bombs in. F2 was about to leave, then came back in and actually got forced. Had to pop, he was on 50 health, would have died to another rocket for sure, but he's got both his scouts and they've cleared up a sentry there, and now they're trying to take on 2 fights at once. They did manage to get the Demo Man, and it looks like as Phil comes in, they're going to be able to just strong arm that point. And wow, Lego hitting their stride now. 2 rounds on the board. It's a 1 round game, 3-2 here. 425 as we go into the 13th minute, Hildreth.
Yeah, 425 starting to get rattled on middle. They need to, well, win the middle would be nice, but just keep their medic alive in general. It feels like to me that they're not supporting each other's, like the Roma's aggressions not being supported, or a scout's aggressions not being supported. And Def takes a lot of damage from Dr. Phil. He's 2 HP, barely getting healed. He's not in the fight at the moment. They're stuck in ramp room. There's a bomb going in on Dr. Phil. It's cleaned up, nice pill to the face of Come Down. Although there's some fighting going on, which I cannot see because I'm very bad at this. You take it away, Ad.
Sid and Kenzie are going huge. Come Down, even though his Demo Man death was pretty weak, Come Down went in and bought quite a bit of time. He did get cleaned up eventually, but then when Lego thought it was their time to go forward, the scouts of 425 just chewed them up, man. They focused down, they were playing together, focused down Natural real quick, then I think they got Hellberg as well, but They absolutely won that middle for their team, managed to help them come back into it with a couple of quick frags. And now it is Uber versus Uber, and the momentum has just been taken out of the hands of Lego here, and they have to wrestle it back from these crazy Russians. Denmark versus Russia here in this, the ETF2L Season 17 Premiership Relegation Playoff.
Looks like Kenzie's suicided, probably to go sniper again. I mean, he's a 6 sniper. Kenzie, I remember him playing for Team Ukraine against Team England in Highlander, and the day English Highlander died. A moment of silence there. But yeah, Lego actually going in and forcing the Uber rather than letting their Kenzie get set up on sniper. They've gone in and forced so Kenzie stays scout, and they're actually trying to push it on this left side. 425, but Zen on the heavy tanks so much damage and kills 2 people. And I think they're going to have to give this up, although Def is still alive, so it's a very close fight. And he's picked up Hellberg as well, so it's a 2-on-3 right now. Spawn wave is going to come in, but is it going to be too late? Natural on this right hand side. Yeah, he's going to be in too late. Manages to pick up Kenzie, but go 4-2. That's a bit of a heartbreak there. I was surprised they chose to push in after that suicide.
Great focus fire there from the... When it turned into that 3-on-3, it was Death and Kenzie, and they just focused down the scout, and Crizzle wasn't there to help. He wasn't really supporting his scout right, just in that one engagement that they lost right at the very end. But onto this middle, Dr. Phil had a good one last time. Tell me what's happening now, Hildreth.
I'm watching Zen pistol the demo like he did last time, and it's got to be very annoying for Def, but this time he hasn't gone back inside the ramp room. He's putting the presence on the point, spamming that crate, helping his scout, and they've got 2 kills from it. Kenzie meat shots, then down off the crates, and now Def goes across the point, picks up Crizzle, and great cleanup. The rest of the 425 players get taken down, and that's another wipe, and that's got to be a big dagger to the heart for Lego right there.
Yeah, Dr. Phil seemed to set up camp in that corner pretty early in the middle. He got pushed out. He really needs to be damaging these scouts. I feel he should sort of maybe ignore Death a little bit, throw one sticky his way, and then really try and find the scouts and put damage on them, because they are being incredibly instrumental on the last couple of mids. But 425 are just using the momentum off that mid and the previous round to get another one on board. They've extended it back to a 3-round game as we go 5-2. Only 9 minutes left on the clock here. This is a best of 3, and this is the Russian Team 425's map pick. The next map is going to be Snakewater, and the decider will be Badlands. But right now, Russians doing well, living up to their map pick.
Yeah, you're mentioning about Dr. Phil not doing the damage on me. I'm watching him up top. Now, you said you want him to damage the scouts. He's just firing stickies at the demo man. He's not really aiming for the scouts, as you mentioned. He's really weak now. Goes for some of the soldiers, no real good damage done. There's some good presence on the point by the scouts of Lego, controlling the grounds and the crates, denying the roamers. Now they're pushing forward as a team. They've managed to bully the 425 team out. Dicker actually gets caught trying to escape from the ramp by Phil, but Kenzie comes in, gets F2, so it's just equaling out the Ubers there as just Sid survives and he's going to run away.
I need some confirmation here from the people watching the stream, but for like the last 10 seconds I couldn't hear anything Hildreth was saying, but I didn't want to interrupt, because is it just my mumble that keeps cutting out, or is there a little bit of silence
possibly
there?
I mean, I've been known to do that sometimes with my mumble. Sometimes it just cut out. I don't know why. So
someone on the stream chat tell me, but I'm happy. I'm fine, man. I'm fine.
Or you just missed the best casted 10 seconds of your life, Admirable.
Look what F2's running. He's like the Kritzkrieg. He is at an uber disadvantage right now, but he could have crits in time to create something, because Sid has gone down, and that might just make 425 even more defensive. Or definitely not going to push on an uber advantage, but it's going to be up to Dicker's trigger finger. How quickly can he react to the incoming crit, sticky or rocket? Looks like Natural could be the one to take the crits. There's sticks here. Has Natural not called those? Wow. This combo almost came through there. The crits. Dr. Phil does pop off and force the uber. Has an option to kill a soldier up top there in the garage, but cannot find come down, and the crits doesn't yield any frags. I'm not sure if there's much damage done at all, but at the end of that engagement it's going to be a man advantage, and as I say that, Hellbrook goes down to turn it into a 4-on-4, but as long as F2 stays alive he will have a crit advantage here. But he's currently under pressure from a soldier, whipping out the crossbow trying to take down Come Down, who finishes off F2 having only 2 health himself. Right now, it's all on Zen here to try and equalise the medic situation. He gets the last shot there onto Dicker. Both medics go down. F2 will respawn before Dicker will have an uber advantage, even if he runs the medigun, but he might still go Crits Creek as well, Hildreth.
Yeah, out of that fight, 425 will be the happiest, because they may be able to get middle if they want to risk it. They probably will be content with holding second, but I was watching Dicker the entire time. Like, he was just dodging the pressure coming in on him from Dr. Phil, Soldier trying to get into him. And he just baited out a couple of players going for him, and he gave them the man advantage. Def did a really good job of taking down Dr. Phil to keep his medic alive for a little bit longer. So yeah, there was just more time being bled out by 425.
A big time game right now. There's only 6 minutes left, and there's a 3-round disadvantage. And this is one of the slowest maps in the map pool. F2 did spawn on Uber, and he has managed to engineer a 20% advantage, and if they push it on the button here, they should know they have an advantage. They should go for it. They're already pushing ahead. They're leaving their scouts to cap. They're taking a lot of heat here. They're unsure what to do. They hesitate for a second. This is going to give Dicker a chance, but Dr. Phil's in on Dicker. He's got him down to 25 HP, whips out the melee, the pain train there. Doesn't connect. Someone else stole his frag, but now they're going to continue to go forward here. Only 2 players alive, and they are both super weak. Sid on 7 is nowhere to be seen, as Lego do use that uber advantage as the momentum they needed to get another round on the board. It's 5-3 here. Lego, your Danish team need 2 rounds to bring this to a golden cap. There's 5 minutes and 15 seconds left on the clock. Hildreth, can they do it?
I think they can if they win a big middle over here, so it's going to be all on our big Roma friend Krizzle to get something done. You bring it up in the stats that he has some of the less impressive statistics for Roma soldiers this season, Krizzle, but this is his chance. All of that means nothing now, Admirable. He's going to go big in this middle. I feel he's not really done much. Dr. Phil's gone down as well, and F2 probably threw a direct pipe from Def over the crates. Krizzle doesn't manage to do anything, and they're going to get cleaned up. Krizzle, you let me down. That was your moment. You let me down.
Death with the big pipe spam there, putting out a lot of damage, and yeah, we did have Gentleman John's new stats, those season stats, you know, to show you for Lego. We don't have any for Division 1, I'm sorry, but due to the game starting late and then at very short notice, we didn't have time to wheel them out. Maybe we can look at them during the intermission, but right now 425 are back in the driving seat with a strong middle. They're able to run the clock down here, even if they don't cap this point. Right now there's a back cap on, it's still going. They need to throw somebody on the point. Dr. Phil can't make it in time, doesn't close down the distance. Zen was still behind there. If they'd thrown bodies in the point, maybe he could have managed to do a hero back cap, but this might actually be the best thing. If they just lose the round, they're going to get a few more middles in these last 4 minutes.
Yeah, I watched Hellberg on Sniper. He missed about 8 shots there. Not the Hellberg I've seen from frag clips, but they're just frag clips, man. Yeah, they need a wipe on this middle. They need a round within a minute, and they need to do that a couple more times. Not very likely, but entirely possible. See what happens.
Krizzle's jumped in on the right hand side. He's trying to pick a fight with Sid, but Sid just backs off and baits him into the rocket of calm down there, but he at least put a lot of hurt onto that scout, forced Sid to play quite defensive. Kenzie as well finds himself on 7. Sid's coming in the flank though. He sees Zen and Hellberg on the point. Ob's not to shoot them. He wants to try and find the medic pick, but Death has already gone and stolen that one. Death gets his man right here now. It's natural against 3. He's down to 140, 14 health. He will go down to the scattergun of Kenzie. And again, we see a middle where Sid and Kenzie are 2 of the last players alive, cleaning up these dirty Deans.
Yeah, they started that mid really well. They got the 3 kills, but then the last 3 players, just 3 fragging classes, I think 2 scouts and a demo. It looked like Lego just split up, like Natural ran into one direction, I don't know why, chasing somebody. Dr. Phil was somewhere else, I can't remember if he died or not, and the scout and F2 were just running away from each other, so there's no focus from the Danes at the end of the mid, so they lost and got cleaned up. They're trying a desperate push out here. The Russians are actually going to keep going with their uber advantage. They must know it's over by now. Lego Zen goes in, down, trying to make something happen. Dr. Phil's going to get caught out by this scout, Sid, and the rest of the combo of Lego are on last, trying to get that uber to save the round, so it doesn't become even more humiliating.
Yeah, I think Lego are sandbagging here. They want to go back to Div 1 so they can win it again and then come up again and go down again. But no, this is not their map pick, so I guess we have to put 425s as the favourites for Granary, and they are delivering thus far. With a 6-3 scoreline, they're trying to make that 7-3. They're throwing bodies on the field, but a spawn wave comes in there that brings Dr. Phil back on the field with no sticky bombs, pumping out the damage. Zen is going to clean up Kenzie, and the respawn comes in for 425, but they will be able to... Lego will be able to cap this one. But like you say, time's running out. Sid cloaks and walks past Phil there. Ghosted past him. He looks like he wants a medic pick. He's just trying to pad his spy stats here, I guess. Goes in, gets the backstab. Nobody was expecting that, and why would they, Hildreth?
Yeah, why would they? This is in Highland. This is 6v6. Why would they? But yeah, it's probably going to take any kind of momentum out of the game. I hope that Lego have a good atmosphere going into this. I've never really played with any of them. Well, seen their team play with their comps, but when you lose the first map in a playoff like this, you need to keep positive for the second map. My experience is that if you just go into a game with sort of like a defeatist attitude where you're sighing a lot, then it's not going to bode well for the second map. If the second map doesn't start well, you're going to just have some positivity.
Cast your mind back to the off season when Natural wrote a inspiring article about playing in a roster with people of the same nationality, you know, your fellow countrymen, and these guys have always painted themselves as a team of friends. You know, they're in this, they're having fun. There's another spy in the field actually, but I wonder how close they're going to be after a season of sucking out, especially if they get knocked down into Div 1 again. I'm sure they'll still be friends, but will Natural still be feeling so strongly about playing with his fellow countrymen? Will he be tired of losing?
It's hard to tell, really. I don't think he's the type that cares about that. Yeah, it's hard to say. All I know is maybe they might be having to go at each other for their stats. Do you want to go back to Gentleman John's stats?
We should look at the map stats, I think.
Oh, that'll be better. Much better.
Who is going to get them out first? Wow, I just messed things up there on my desktop, but don't worry. I'm gonna go to logs.tf. Where could they be? Granary, there, right at the top. Jackpot. And I always sort them by damage first, Hildreth, and who's up there but Death. Dominating Dr. Phil there with 3k more damage. Even Natural out damage Dr. Phil. Come on, Dr. Phil, step it up.
Yeah, he didn't seem like he was having a very good game. He kept dying a lot. I'm still trying to find the logs.
Oh wow, I put them in Twitch chat there, but I can also share them with... You seem like a nice guy. I'm gonna throw you a bone here, buddy. But there they are. I'll give them to Ducky as well, but he's probably got them up, you know, because he's a badass.
Yeah, I'm not as good at this game as you are, Admirable.
The casting game. You're a much better TF2 player than me, mate.
Well, naturally. But yeah, looking at these stats, Death 34 for 10. You know, he's stayed alive more than anybody else in the game. When your demo man's alive all the time, it just gives your team such an edge because you can buy time when you're defending a point. But you can also do tons and tons of damage. A really solid game from him, yeah.
His stats are impressive all around. You know, my second favourite stat after damage is kills and assists per death, and he's like 4.1. Not only did he put a lot of damage, but he didn't die that often, which is always good. Kenzie and Sid then right behind him. And you know, a lot of people when they start off playing Granary as Scout, they really hate it because it's some confined areas. It's quite not easy for soldiers, but it favours soldiers in a lot of the arenas. But Scouts are incredibly powerful if you can survive and wait for the cleanup, and they were able to do that time after time. And you see them there with impressive stats in terms of their kills and assists per death. They definitely seem to outplay the Lego Scouts. Zen did okay actually, but Helberg didn't really hold a candle to these guys. And I'm going to be looking to the Scouts and demo again on Snakewater mid, because you know it can be a similar setup. Your demo tries to put down a lot of damage up top, maybe tagging Scouts, maybe tagging soldiers, and your Scouts can follow up on that. And I'm interested to see how this works out. But this is Lego